Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Ahead, we'll get a look at Jimmy Garoppolo and the San Francisco 49ers as they take on Case Keenum and the Washington Redskins. With that, let's get on up to FedEx Field near Washington. Standing by for the call of this one, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. A few minutes ago, it sounded like the 4th of July on the National Mall as the hometown Redskins were introduced to this sold-out crowd. They are set to go as their guys will match up with the San Francisco 49ers. With you from the booth, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis. CDR matchup here. A couple of teams last year that were really pretty similar. Both under 500, both missed the playoffs, and they both think that they can turn things around in 2019.
Yeah, how about 2018, though? A case of the haves and the have-nots. In 16-game seasons in the NFL, for the first time last year, no one finished 8-8. Now, you know that in baseball, basketball, other sports, turnarounds can take 3, 4, 5 years. In football, could just be a few months.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Redskins offense led by their new quarterback, Case Keenum. And Keenum, a guy, he's seen his fair share of highs and lows in this game. The high likely his 22-touchdown season for the Vikings in 2017. And the low probably being traded by Denver after one 6-10 season. But here he is ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, let's get set lunch. Right there. Right there. 54 Mike. I got you.
Keenum on first down. And incomplete to open things up. The linebacker, Fred Warner, right there on the coverage. And here a look at the offensive starters for the Redskins.
And we have to start with Adrian Peterson. The 7-time Pro Bowl running back is back for his second season with Washington. And he was surprisingly good in 2018. At one point, had the team leading the NFC East. And right now he sits at number 8 all-time in rushing. And in his sights, number 7, Jerome Bettis, number 6, LaDainian Tomlinson, and with a big year, maybe even number 5, Curtis Martin.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. And a look now at the defensive starters for San Francisco.
Dee Ford, a lightning-quick edge rusher, has made his way from Kansas City to San Francisco, and no one happier than interior defensive lineman DeForest Buckner. That should free him up for more one-on-ones inside, and Ford's speed off the edge will surely make quarterbacks get rid of the ball a whole lot quicker.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Out of the gun, Keenum. And that will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
So on 4th down, the Redskins will call on Tress Way to punt it away. The 49ers have Richie James back deep. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. Jimmy Garoppolo taking out the San Francisco 49ers onto the field, and he's got to be playing with a lot of confidence right now. This crew at 5-0, and if you remember back to his 5 starts in 2017. He won all 5 of those at the end of the year, Charles. And by the way, good stat from our main man, Ed Brady. 49er quarterbacks to win their first 5 starts of a season since 1950. Joe Montana, Jimmy Garoppolo.
That's big-time company that Jimmy Garoppolo is joining. When you're talking about the best quarterback in 49ers history, as most would say, that's big time. 13-2 lifetime as a starting quarterback in San Francisco, and this year has his team in first place in the NFC West.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. And these are the guys we're about to see down on the turf in just a moment.
Joe Staley, the left tackle, one of the most respected players in the league, as well as one of the most talented.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now a man who really stepped up last year. This is Breda. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a dime look. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
On now is the 27-year-old rookie, Mitch Wisnowski, to punt, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Fielded just inside the 20. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. As Washington comes back out here offensively, it gives us a chance to talk about their Week 6 win, their first of the season. Now, granted, it was against Miami, who is still winless, but they got the job done, defended a 2-point conversion in the dying moments of that game to secure the victory.
Hashtag HTTR. Cue the music. Everyone has to be happy to get that first win. We know that they let Jay Gruden go as their head coach October the 7th. Bill Callahan has taken over as the interim guy. He was their offensive line coach. So what will he want to do with that offense?
Run the football. That's what he said his opening press conference.
And how did they run it against Miami?
145 yards, and AP was over 100 in that game.
Yeah, he's going to be very happy to have Bill Callahan as the interim head coach. And now they get ready for San Francisco. Then they go to Minnesota, and they go to Buffalo.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Check, 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 check.
Throwing is Keenum. Looking left sideline, incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
The threat of a 2nd straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. A shotgun snap for Keenum. And that's incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Here's Tressway now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. San Francisco takes back over possession of the football. That 5-0 start that we discussed, Charles, first time that they've been 5-0 since 1990. And remember, this is a team that in 2018 won 4 games, so they've already surpassed that.
And this is what happens in the NFL. Things change, and they change in a hurry. And they had been compiling talent. Now it's stayed healthy, and they're playing really well, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And a lot of people are like, well, the Rams, how are you going to do against them in their defensive front, especially with both tackles not playing? They did quite well. This team has a lot of confidence now, and they will be a factor the rest of the season.
And you look ahead, they will go to Washington and then home for a couple against Carolina and Arizona as they try to remain undefeated.
Yeah, they could get to November undefeated and really be the story of this NFL season.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Garoppolo on the draw to Coleman. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Garoppolo after the fake give to Breda. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. It'll go as a first down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16. Well, Pettis is quickly becoming the #1 receiving option for Jimmy Garoppolo. Into last year, John Lynch said that they loved the way he closed the season, really came on late. Remember, this is a guy that they traded up to get at number 44 back in 2018 out of the University of Washington.
Here we go.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On play action, now Garoppolo. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's Quentin Dunbar with a pick.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. So they get the INT. Now here's Keenum. He's got it complete to Thompson. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. So finally completes his first pass. Credit the defense, though. They've been showing him some different looks, keeping him off balance.
Yeah, I like the observation that you had there, because when you give him different looks and give any quarterback different looks, it takes just a little bit longer to process sometimes, and you don't throw the ball with the same confidence. You're not sure that that's where you should go with the football. And that's worked for the defense early in this game. And now he's got his first completion. Let's see if his confidence comes back and he starts to get into a nice little groove.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Now a man in his 13th NFL season, it's Adrian Peterson. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 16. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down. Pretty fortunate there, the interception that ended the last drive, and then boom, the first pass here almost picked on this drive.
Yeah, I think you could definitely call him to question his decision-making here in the first half.
Certainly not the best of decisions there. Lucky that one wasn't picked. On 2nd down, it's Coleman. Oh, he breaks another. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here we go. 180!
Number 53, Mike 53.
They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breda. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Here we go. 180! You better be afraid of me.
Once again, they run with Breda on 1st down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Here we go. 180!
53, Mike. Let's put him on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
On the draw play, Coleman. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. Well, remember, Tevin Coleman was in the 2-headed backfield in Atlanta during his 4 years there, along with Devontae Freeman. Now he joins a crowded backfield in San Francisco. But in Atlanta, he played under offensive coordinator Kyle Shanahan, and then, of course, Shanahan becomes a 49er head coach, and he made it a point to go out and snag his former running back because he really likes his 26-year-old ball carrier. Garoppolo to his tight end, Kittle, for a Niner 1st down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. Tackled there by Monte Nicholson.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
53, Mike 53.
Here we go.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
in Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. On 2nd down, a run with Breda. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Deep ball for Goodwin. And that is incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the 1st quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Keenum and the Redskins now going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 27. Here's Peterson as they begin on the ground. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Interim head coach Bill Callahan really wants to run the football and do so with Adrian Peterson, so he figures to be a big beneficiary. And he had a strong game in Miami Week 6, the first game that Bill Callahan was the interim head coach. 118 yards on 23 carries. And remember, this is a guy in AP who at 34 years old was a healthy scratch in Week 1. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
49ers have an extra defensive back on the field. A nickel set for 3rd down.
Come get some.
Here's Keenum to throw. That's complete to his tight end, Sprinkle. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route, but he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction and was able to track the ball in another.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff to Thompson. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
That's right, baby. They don't want it.
Throwing on 2nd down. Keenum. And down he goes. Keenum is sacked.
That's right. Get off the train tracks, baby. Get off the train tracks.
And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. Working from the gun, Keenum. And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Tressway now. He's been terrific so far. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Here we go, here we go. Wait, 80! 55.
Garoppolo now, first down throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Now it's the fullback. This is Kyle Juszczyk. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Garoppolo now. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And they're going to get the first down here across the 15-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
On first down, Garoppolo. James has got it, complete. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now Garoppolo looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. No score after 1 on EA Sports. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On first down, here's Breda. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Here we go. 180.
Push him back. Push him back.
Garoppolo gives to Breda. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Here we go.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now it's Breda. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. Throw right side taken in by Pettis. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 41-yard line.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Now Garoppolo on the bootleg. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. '49ers with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Garoppolo. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. George Kittle, the Pro Bowl tight end, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range, so now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. And now another one thrown incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. Last year's NFL leader in field goal percentage, Robbie Gould, on for the Niners field goal. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. CD, you know there were quite a few Bears fans back in January saying, why didn't we hold on to that Robbie Gould guy?
Well, it's a legitimate question. 33 of 34 for San Francisco in 2018. The crazy stat of the year, he missed more extra points, 2, than he did field goals, 1, in the 2018 season.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Adrian Peterson now getting ready to go again on offense. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Keenum and the Redskins now going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 26. First play of the drive is a run with Thompson. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
56, Mike, 56.
On 2nd down and 4, Keenum looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. That man, Terry McLaurin, maybe an early dark horse for Rookie of the Year and really one of the lone bright spots offensively for Washington. McLaurin had his 2nd 100-yard game of the year, Week 6, in the win over Miami. Reeled in touchdown catches 4 and 5 of the young season. And if you go back over the last 20 years, only he and Calvin Ridley have been able to have that many touchdown grabs in the first month and a half of the season.
Check 56. Ready? Kill.
First down, here's a run with Peterson. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On the carry, Thompson, and he stopped immediately there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
Now Keenum. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Tressway now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it. Now, if you're a fan of punting, this game's for you. He's been out there quite a bit. That one maybe his best yet.
Yeah, he certainly got his leg loose by now. It kind of reminds me of my college football coach, John Majors. He loved the punting game because he liked the positioning, the field position, and he loved to play defense.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
we go. Left 80!
53, Mike 53.
Hey, we got to get this stop here.
This is Breda, and an alley to run. And space opened up a bit. He's able to take this up past the 10. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on third and just a yard.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front, and then maybe a guard can slide up to the second level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
That'll be complete to Breda. And they're going to get the first down here across the 15-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here we go, here we go.
Garoppolo now, 9 of 17 through the air.
All day, defense, all day, all day.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Kittle last year, what a season. 1,377 receiving yards, an NFL record for tight ends en route to his first Pro Bowl. Not bad for the former 5th-round pick. I remember that game, December against Denver. He had that monster first half, 210 yards. Did not have a single catch in the second half, but still those 210 yards were just 4 yards shy of Shannon Sharp's single-game record for a tight end. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Here we go.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They run with Breda. Tackle made by the Pro Bowl safety Landon Collins.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw, it's Garoppolo, and it's incomplete.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
It's just me and you.
Throwing now is Garoppolo. Completes it to Coleman. And he'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Here we go. 180!
53 at the line. Watch the run. Check 24.
Here's Breda. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Here's Garoppolo to throw. Man open, it's Goodwin. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 15-yard line.
Here we go. Like 20.
Right here, right here.
Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Garoppolo after the fake give to Breda. Blitz coming, and down he goes. It's Ryan Kerrigan getting the sack.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. The Niners on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This is 3rd and 9. To throw is Garoppolo. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. That's Deron Payne with a sack that time. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
So that drive began at their own 3. They wind up getting 3 out of it.
And to me, the mentality to begin the drive, that was probably the key to everything. Let's just make sure we take care of the football, give ourselves some room, and maybe punt it away. Instead, it started at the 3, and it ended with 3 points.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Check, check. Watch it before. Watch it before. Watch the pass.
Keenum now on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Williams. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Matt Breda, the offense, heading back out. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Corner blitz by Josh Norman works like a charm.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there was just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
A third field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And James has it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Garoppolo now. And a quick throw here, that's complete. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Garoppolo looks to throw once more. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to George Kittle, his tight end, and it's 3rd down.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off a drive. They had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
Here we go.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Garoppolo again. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. The kick by Gold is good. And that will make our score 9-0. Still a little bit of time left here in the 2nd quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these two teams. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Jimmy Garoppolo and his offense heading back on the field. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 26. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. He was looking that time for Dante Pettis. That'll bring up second down. Now with that incompletion, let's do something different. I'm going to go through a few teams that are on losing streaks, and you tell me if there's reason for concern there. Let's start with the Cowboys.
Definitely reason for concern. Not as dominant on defense as they should be, and offensive line injuries. 3
straight losses. They're 3-3. How about the Chiefs? 2 straight home losses.
Yeah, they just can't stop anyone running the football.
Okay, and then the Rams, 3 straight losses for them.
Yeah, definite reason for concern because they cannot get the running game figured out. Todd Gurley not touching it enough, but Kenny.
And then the Browns. Everyone was so high on them before the season started. What about now?
So many expectations. That's part of the problem they have right now, but they still would be contenders in their division.
Quickly back to the Chiefs, though. Are you concerned about them? They're still a real contender here, aren't they?
Still a contender, but I'm concerned as heck on defense for anyone who wants to be committed to running the football.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
Garoppolo now, first down throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation. would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Garoppolo now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. And yet again, it's Garoppolo. Connects with Kittle underneath. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Garoppolo looks to throw. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And they move this all the way down to the 9. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal. On the handoff, this is Breda. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Montez Sweat gets him for a loss of 5. He is so tough to handle on the blitz, and that's Exhibit A.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Garoppolo. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. The DN, Jonathan Allen, making sure his presence is felt.
And it appears to me that someone's defensive coordinator is jockeying for a raise. A sack on 2nd and goal, a sack on 3rd and goal, now brings up a decision on 4th down.
So out comes the field goal team once more. And Gold is able to put it through. And that will bump up the lead again to 12-0. So make him 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives have bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So here's the Redskins offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. On first down, it's Thompson, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On play action, now Keenum. His throw incomplete. The intended target was the rookie Terry McLaurin. 3rd down here.
When everything is in sync on defense, that means everyone's communicating really well, and sometimes it's nonverbal. They just know that when a receiver's in one spot, this person may have him, and he's in another spot, the next defender may have him. And they've squeezed the passing lanes down to where it's so difficult to find an open area to deliver the football. They've made it tough on them all game long.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Keenum now just 6 of 15 through the air. Not good, but 1st and 10 here.
Let's bring it.
A toss play. This is Peterson. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage will be found.
Blue 20.
Check. Walk 54. Walk 54. Go on.
They'll fake the give. Now Keenum. Complete. Richardson has it. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. 23 yards the pickup there. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Keenum. He's got it complete to Thompson. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end, and he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll run it. Here's Peterson. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. It's a 1st down for the Redskins on a pickup of 11.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. From the gun, it's Keenum. And this will be incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now it's AP, Adrian Peterson. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
From the gun on 3rd down, Keenum. He's got Thompson here, complete. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
So now on 4th down, the Redskins will hand things over to their kicker, Dustin Hopkins. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Hopkins' kick is good. And that lead is back down to 9 now. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Let's go!
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Throwing now is Garoppolo. That'll be complete to Breda. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That's good for 28 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Garoppolo, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now a give to Breda. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. Wait, okay, double.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breda. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The first down line at the 34 here on third down. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And able to haul it in is Kittle. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Redskins scoop it. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Following the fumble recovery, it's Keenum throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Paul Richardson there, and it's 2nd down. All right, CD, let's have a little fun. Now that we're into October, I'm going to give you some AFC teams. You tell me quickly, contender or pretender. You ready?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, let's start in the East. Buffalo.
Contender for a wild card spot.
Okay, how about the Chargers?
Pretender.
AFC North, the Steelers.
Contender because the AFC North is a jumble.
Okay, and then lastly, let's go to the South, Jacksonville.
Pretender. Houston now in control.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Hey. 4 down.
To throw is Keenum. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football and now zapped right back in the other direction. Here's Tressway now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows the punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive.
Mike, you can't block me. You can't block me.
Garoppolo after the fake give to Breda. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. He'll get 17 on that one, and the Niners have a 1st down. Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. And to give this time to the tailback. Oh, now Breda loses it, and the Redskins scoop it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They try to fire up the run game with Adrian Peterson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington first down.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game.
Wait, please.
54. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Hang up the hot. Wait, please.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We go hot.
A 10th carry now for Peterson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. He shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of the position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice. One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And Hopkins' kick is good. And that'll move them back within 6 now. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive, a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. He hits his target. It's the tight end, Toilolo. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Here we go, here we
The
go.
last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on third down. Now Garoppolo. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. Well, forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Here we go.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On play action, now Garoppolo. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football.
Here we go, here we go. Like 20.
Check 53. Switch up, switch up.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
7 yards there and a 1st down. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to run with Breda. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. On 3rd down, a run from Breda. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the 1st. This defense bending but not breaking. It's a gain of 3. It's now 4th and goal. This defense continues to be good on 3rd down. I mean, they haven't allowed a touchdown offensively. Are you saying, let's go for this? Let's try to get it in the end zone.
I don't know about that because of what you just described. They've been so good, and they don't give up the big play that you would expect in downs 1 through 3. Why should fourth down be any different? You might want to go ahead and kick the field goal and see if you can figure out something else as this game moves on.
So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Keenum and the Redskins now going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 26. Now Keenum. Got a man, that's Quinn. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. To throw is Keenum. That's complete to his tight end, Sprinkle. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Keenum now on first down. And down he goes. Keenum is sacked. Nick Bosa showing his strength and quickness there. A loss of 4. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
Watch the curl, watch the curl, watch the curl.
Throwing is Keenum. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Now Keenum. He sets to fire deep, and unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Switch.
They'll start on the ground with Breda, and he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Here we go. Wait, Edie!
Garoppolo going to try and throw on 3rd. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The safety blitz works perfectly that time for Landon Collins.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So out now come the Redskins. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Keenum. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Thompson. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it a 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
To throw again on 2nd down. Keenum. That's going to be caught by Richardson. A Redskin 1st down. The pickup 15 yards. On 1st down, Keenum toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Was trying to get it to Terry McLaurin, and now it's 2nd down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Let's go.
Now Keenum again. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
Now he'll let it go deep. This is caught inside the 15. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That's a first down with a cherry on top, 31 yards.
They're still looking for their first touchdown of the game, and for a second, I thought they had it right there.
Looking on the sideline, it's finally good to see nods of approval. It's a welcome sign of life that this offense needed. So now following the big play, they've got a first and goal all the way down at the 10. They'll run on first down. Peterson, and he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. A 10-yard touchdown run as they have now chopped this lead down to 3.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Hopkins with the extra point, and the lead is down to 2. That time a 6-play drive, and it's capped off by a touchdown run by Adrian Peterson. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you'd think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here first and 10 at their own 24. They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. So the solid run on first, and I would imagine no real hurry to run that second down play.
No, it's all on your quarterback now. He's going to keep an eye on the play clock and bleed things down, and he's not going to let the ball be snapped until it's inside 3 seconds left on the play clock. Unless, of course, you're playing a video game, you're trying to run it up on your friend.
Here we go.
Nice touch. Cold-blooded, too. They will run again with Coleman. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Here's a handoff left side to Breda. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're...
And he lost the football, and the Redskins scoop it. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit, because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the fourth, a costly turnover. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here, and I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Keenum now to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
The throw over the middle, taken in. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now it's Keenum. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
We own it. We own it. Check.
Running it with a fullback, Burton. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. And that was just brute strength against brute strength, and defensive brute one out there.
We often talk about leverage in a game. Offensive line versus defensive line. Who can get lower and create some space? In this case, as you pointed out, the defensive line got it done.
And they went to the fullback dive, could not get the first. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. Now, Charles, of course, you got to remember, last possession they fumbled. It led to a touchdown. One-score game here. Got to be careful.
And this is where coaching and training really comes into play, doesn't it? What does everyone say after an error? Next play, move on, next drive. That mantra has to come to the front. They've got to take care of business right here and act like the last series just didn't happen.
After the fumble recovery, it's Garoppolo. That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Come on, QB, come on.
To throw is Garoppolo. And his throw is going to be incomplete. George Kittle, the receiver that he was looking for. And it's 3rd and short.
Well, partner, so much for the mismatch. How about the guy at the second level, that big linebacker, able to run with the receiver and make a play on the football?
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breda. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards.
Here we go.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. 2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the fourth quarter. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Once again, they run with Breda on 1st down. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. On 2nd down, a run with Breda. And he gets it down to the 32. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. The Redskins going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
And he is going to have the 1st down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. It'll go as a gain of 9, and that should write an ending to this one.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Here we go. 180!
Down to a knee goes Garoppolo, and that ought to do it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. So the victory here for San Francisco, and you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
Oh, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from Landover.